There were a lot of big numbers being bandied about at military briefings this week as the Department of National Defense sought to explain what on the surface seemed like discrepancies about the cost of the successful Libya mission against Colonel Gaddafi. Days before it ended, in October, Peter MacKay told an interviewer, the initial projection, as you know, goes back to some 6 months or more, would have us in the range of $60 million. As of October 13th, the figures that I've received have us well below that, somewhere under $50 million. But there was a pretty accurate estimate the D&D gave for the mission of about $106 million. So General Vance on Friday said, you were aware of. Here's his quote. He knew the estimate for sure. In fact, he presents the estimates to Cabinet. So yes, he would have known what the estimates would have been. So my question to you, sir, is how early were you aware that your department had estimated the cost would be over $100 million?
Well, because I was asked the specific costs to date.
Well, the opposition says there seems to be a pattern here of lowballing or hiding the cost of what the department does. Questions Friday about the lack of a press release for the awarding of a $100 million contract for 13 new Leopard tanks. So how is it decided what numbers are valid and which projects are highlighted?
And we're very guarded in releasing the information.
So I'd like to return to the Libya mission for a moment and how it was wrapped up with a celebration flyover of Parliament Hill here. The Privy Council office approved spending $400,000 for it, but do you know now how much the actual costs were?
Costs came in at about $850,000, as I recall. It was under $1 million. Those costs were incurred as part of a celebration, a demonstration, if you will, of Canadian air power on the Hill. We had fighter planes as well, CF-18s, Hercules, refuelers, flew over Parliament Hill. That was a day that we had celebrated the success of the Canadian forces in Libya.
Well, when something like that doubles in cost, who approves it?
Those costs are ultimately presented to me, and of course they go through the Cabinet.
Mr. MacKay, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it very much.